So now I will show you around a little on the keyboard of the machine and show you what keys do what. So you first of all have typewriter keys over here. They also have numbers, but they only interact with the type bars of the typewriter. They don't interact with the calculator at all. The numbers down here are different. You have red numbers here from 1 to 9, and they put numbers into the pincushion. They are the keys that I use to enter numbers into the calculator. So they go into the pincushion and then get thrown up into the mechanism and either go into the front or the rear register or the multiplier, or these are for entering numbers. The black numbers on the right side of the keyboard, they are for multiplication. So they operate the multiplier directly. If you press the 4, it will multiply whatever number is in the multiplier by 4. The keys down here, the 5 keys that you see on the left of the keyboard, are operation keys. So they make the machine do things. So you see a key called front total. It will obviously, if you push that, it stays pressed in. If you push that, it will read out the number that is in the active front register and print it onto the paper. There's an error key at the side here. If you press that, whatever key you have pressed in jumps back up. There is a first product key, and the first product key prints the number in the rear register and clears the rear register. It doesn't do anything else. So that means if you want to read out your number in the rear register and print it, you use this key. Final product does something else. It reads out the number in the rear register and prints it, just like the first product key, but it also transfers it to the front register that is active. And it clears the multiplier. The machine can also be configured that on final product that it does not that it does transfer to the front register, but does not clear the multiplier. But that is an option. The machine needs to be configured differently for that. The add crossfooter key adds a number from the pincushion or from a register into the rear register. So this essentially engages the rear register when the type bars run back. And then the extend key engages the mechanism that transfers a number to the multiplier. So it enters whatever you enter on the red keys into the multiplier. The subtract key down here does exactly that. It converts the number in the multiplier to its complement and adds it to the rear register. And then whatever number is in the rear register you can print, for example, by first or final product. So the machine is currently set up that it returns the carriage to position 34, and then you have next to the motor bar you have a tab key. So the tab key moves the carriage to position 47, then to 59, and then to 71. And as that is happening, you can see the registers tripping because there are 2 register tripping blocks over here. So if we move the carriage back to the right, you can see that it trips the register on the first tab. So you see that the register is at 1, I tab and the active register is now 2, I tab again and the active register is now 3. So let's do a little calculation. Let's do some 3-column addition. So we turn on the motor, and the first thing we do is we have to enter a number into the keyboard. So we put into the keyboard with the carriage at position 34, we put into the keyboard 1, 2, 3, 4, and we press the motor bar to add it to the front register. Then we tab. So you will see that when we tab, the active register goes to register number 2. So we enter a number into that as well. And then we tab to register number 3. And we add a number into that as well. Then we do a carriage return. So that does a line feed as well. There is a tripping block for that onto the back of the carriage over here. That is the line feed. And so we can do a second number in register number 1, a second number in register number 2, and a second number in register number 3. And we do a carriage return. We can do a third number, a fourth number, and a fifth number. And so then we can totalize every register. So what we do now is, well, first of all, I think we still need to clear the rear register. So in order to do that, we lift the carriage up. You can, by the way, see the numbers that we typed into the 3 columns. And we will do final product and run the motor bar in order to make sure that the rear register is clear. And so when we've done that, we will type a line. There is a handy line key on the typewriter keyboard. We will type a line, and then we will do front total, and you can use, of course, combinations of these keys. So we will also do add cross footer. So what we'll do is read out what is in the front register and print it, and then when the type bars run back, we add it into the rear register. That's happened. We tabulate, we do the exact same thing for the second register. We tabulate again, we do the exact same thing for the third register. And then we tabulate again. I forgot to press lines, by the way, so it will not be that clear, or it will not be as clear as it could have been. Actually, we can still do that. So we're pressing lines, and we tabulate one position further, and then what we'll do is we'll read out the rear register, and so we'll get the grand total of what we summed by pressing final product and pushing the motor bar. And so when we look at what is now there, okay, one number in the rear register clearly didn't clear because there is 1 in the front, so we didn't want that there, but all right. So you see that the sum of these is 115.26, 365.44, 113.25, and across the board we should have 593.95. So if we do final product again, the 1 is cleared. So I don't know where that came from. It should not have, it probably didn't zero properly. So that's a first example of what the machine can do. Tabulating in 3 columns. You can, by being smart, you can even tabulate in 4 columns by using the rear register as well, by using the cross footer as an extra column, and then to the total of the cross footer at the other 3 columns, so you can do 4 column addition as well. The next interesting example would be to try multiplication or a subtraction. So let's try subtraction first, and let's do a little credit-debit calculation. Let's return the carriage. So what we will do is add 2 numbers. Let's see that I can have them for reference over here. So the numbers that we're going to add are 2,749.68, and we'll add that in front register number 1. Then we'll tabulate to front register number 2, and we'll do 1, 3, 4, 5, 60. Do a carriage return. Do a line feed, because it didn't do the line feed automatically because the carriage didn't move far enough to the right. So we'll do the next 4354.75. Tabulate 987.45. Don't forget to line feed. 455.89. Tabulate 2255.27. There we go. Caret return, line feed, print a line. And what we'll do now is print the first number and transfer it to the rear register. So we'll use the front total and add cross footer to print it and transfer it to the rear register. Motor bar. Then we'll tabulate. We're now in register number 2, and that has the credits. And so the credits, the total of the credits needs to be subtracted from the total of the debits. So what we'll do is we'll do a front total as well as pushing the extend button. So that will print the total of register number 2 and extend it into the multiplier. It's in the multiplier. Then we'll push subtract. Tabulate. And we'll print the final product. In order to print the number in the rear register, clear the multiplier, and transfer this to front register number 3. So what we should see now is that we have our numbers printed. I again forgot to print a line here, but so the total of debits is 7,560, total of credits is 4,588. This minus that is now this. And so you can easily do credit debit calculations with the Moon-Hopkins.